Then he nods his head and takes out a large leaf. Her arm is being burned by Udo Ming. Immediately cut off, then went to throw out a buffalo seed towards the charred body of the phoenix. This is Shou's fire, his special French cow. Shou County quickly annexed all the city's men fire. On the throne waiting. After the fire was completely destroyed, I looked at the body. If you are not dead, shout for an hour. After a while, my body is burning black. My eyes suddenly burst out. Move the scene back to Shinzu. The monster is currently being tortured. Put your feet on your neck and run. Complaining bizarre chase in behind extremely thong dong. It looks like you're playing. Suddenly, he opened his mouth and shouted. 100 soldiers dance and dance. Immediately, the sea monster is running ahead. They were stopped by countless weapons that formed a barrier. I saw the weapons in front of me. It doesn't choose to be aggressive either. It immediately disappears in place. The body should jump over. When I saw that, I looked at it. 100 soldiers dance. There is an instant in nothingness. Iron chain appeared. The monster couldn't react. I'm bound by this iron chain. It looks like a normal iron equator. But no matter how hard it gets, there's no way out. Complains of a cold face. In his hand appeared a bow. Then he shouted his sword. Immediately, a sword condensed on the bowstring. The monster is tied up in the air. Watching the enemy take me as a bear and shoot arrows, he couldn't help but curse. Stop his mouth. He looked for a moment and then dropped the bow. The sword immediately flew up. Pierced straight boobs, aquatic fuck. The sword just hit him. It turns into a puddle that disappears in place. I don't understand how to complain. The water is like that, falling from the air to the ice below. Next, a carp breaks the ice and goes into the water. After a moment, the carp turned into a water dragon. It quickly swims around under its counter legs. Soon the ice beneath his feet cracked. Water dragon immediately broke the ice that appeared behind him. Looking back in horror, he turned his head and glanced. At the same time, the dog opened its mouth. Fan Ki was suddenly attacked and could not escape. Stand still in place. Call the head of the spear to prop up the mouth of the dragon bite. After stopping, do not let the water dragon bite down, he shouted. The 100 soldiers are dancing. Immediately, from the water dragon's belly, countless sword arrows pierced out. It's painful. It's screaming. It's screaming. I took this opportunity to get out of his mouth. When he landed on the ground, he changed his head. It's the second treasure that was taken from the Forbidden City. He raised his hands to the treasure and stared at it. To request the epiphany, the long head immediately turned big. Next to him appeared a judge. Giant body. The judge just showed up and handed him the dragon. Then put his head in. They are ready to be executed at any time. No matter how the water dragon uses its power. But it's impossible to escape. The control of the judge. Fan Ki, two eyes coldly shouted. Follow your yell. The judge used his strength. Fresh blood immediately splashed. The dragon's head spun a few rounds in the air, and then fall down and turn back into a monster head. Finished processing, and he quickly reclaimed his head and put it away. Then slowly moved back to the monster head. The monster, though beheaded, is not dead. When I saw Fan Kai go to it, I screamed. Don't be pleased, I am the weakest of the Buddhas. If it's Master Gu. He couldn't finish the sentence. He was stabbed through the head with a sword. Uncle Gu, your family is one step ahead of you. Afraid that he can't take revenge for you. Fan Ki has just finished dealing with the sea monster. They are also coming from behind. That carp in the world has been dealt with by you. He turned to look at him. Although it's a little difficult, but the body in this world of it, it's been broken by me. With you, I calmly replied. The name of that Sun Yin member has been marked by me. Let go. When I heard that, I was surprised to hear that. Let go Sao. Smiling, laughing, not letting him go. I can't pinpoint where the Kier painters are. To hide. How long have those bandits been messing around outside? It's enough to just kill one Sao. Waiting for us to finish dealing with the degenerate Buddha in Henan. I'm going to go to heaven. Invite the monster to help us locate them. Then go to their lair. Clean up 1 times to people strictly Hoa and treason. After a search, I found the altar of the devil. The water monster inside. It's completely broken now. I can see it with my own eyes. This is how you see the evil spirits in Shinju. It has been thoroughly resolved. Fan Kai is still a little difficult to understand, but Tina still couldn't figure it out. The direction of the wicked. For us. Seriously, he replied. It's just normal. Hanam is the headquarters of the Sun Yin. And then there's the deity of the Buddha that they invited. That number, of course, it's beyond the limits of Ti Nam. Waiting for us to destroy a few more altars. This stuff will definitely work. Then, the 2 of them again quickly rode the bird away. Move the scene to the east, a lie fuck to people. Feng Dao and Chang Neil is still going through yin and yang. Take a look at everything that happened here. The image of the coming sun has also appeared. There is no blame for saying that. The next historical knot in Tai Ching Tao will become our formidable opponent. Then the problem is you. He knelt down and looked at the sky. This person is strong. The city is quiet and continues to observe, not speaking up. What allows us to desecrate? Your Taoist lake is not in the east. He went out to work and is not in the east right now. Well, that's a crime. When he finished, he put out his hand. A marker on the forehead, 10 Deem. The devil was surprised to see that. Humanized paint. He wants to wake up this girl's memory. Follow a thread of Kin Yang Yang, point Ra. Kier's fairy soul. Slowly integrate completely with 10 points. After a moment, she opened her eyes. Thank you for helping us to wake up to the memory of the past. Small things are not worth mentioning. We observe. I see that there is an accident in the past. Danger to life. I don't know if you're prepared to solve it. 10 listened to, then as lightning strikes the ear in wonder, asked, what do you mean by that? Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you're not well prepared. I think you and I can lend a helping hand. 10 listening to that, the expression of the face slowed down. Let's see if we can move the scene to Sun Yin. Thousands of lives are stitching up the arms right now. It's broken. You can use this arm first. Wait until the connection is complete. Let him launch the label. Help me find the right arm. He looked at the 5 hornets on the ground. Remember that you owe me once. Because I saved you, I lost 7. The face was a little shy. A lot of people saw that attitude. I'm going to yell at you. At this time, the Lord came to speak. The damage caused by the fire is very difficult to heal. The next time, you stay in Yang Sha, slowly heal. The plan behind, you don't have to participate anymore. The bird was surprised to hear that. Okay, but what do you and the boss have to do? There is no way to kill the 4 statues. Attack on the forbidden. Thidu Dong General Department of Government opening. Is there enough? Don't wait for the radio to respond. Then there's another sound. It doesn't matter. Where the sound comes from is the hell. Inside the statue of God. We can let the Buddhas. The world came first. Let them go and stop the white tiger. It's quiet down at the border. At the moment, there is only Ningtrong. It is the only one in the world. Frequency and Duong Bakui one key army. 3 of you go to keep the white tiger and the white tiger. We are under the ban and under the ban. Thidu Dong General Department of Kaifeng Government. Let's make that decision on the east side. After seeing it all, the talk of 10 years, and the yang frequency. Look at her. Follow him. When the devil speaks, that's what Ra is. I don't blame you for being late. Let me go to the east to find your master. Turns out it's because of him. Fang Du laugh. Haha, that's the life of the 3. Even if the heir is our host, and his master is twice as strong. I can't stand that accident either. If we don't stay a little away from him. Waiting for the violent life, I too was dragged into being a bulletproof beer. In the end, my current state is too bad. On the side of King Kizu, the king is sitting in the palace drinking tea. One of the officers ran to report. He was not quick or slow to ask the Kier. How's the feedback from places? This man is a town manager. When the king asked him, he quickly answered. 5 activities in Kai Shou, and long sword in Than Shou, after receiving our non-mail sent. Then I discovered that the royal temple that was abnormal. In front of my eyes, sent someone to search the entire county. When the king heard it, he nodded. Long sword and 5 actions, SAO, based on their strength. It is also enough to deal with unfinished evil. If you can't do that, you'll get the news back. Move the scene to the only side in Back High District. The captain of the long sword. Fong Station led Theo in the dispatch to come here. He looked at the house in front of him and said, if not to be a reminder. We can't recognize either. There's a fanatic who holds an evil ritual. It's in our jurisdiction that this happens. It's humiliating. Inside the church, a Buddha statue, the judge walked next to him, are also here. Right now, the 2-eyed Buddha kept leaking fresh blood. Outside the Fong Station has begun to press the hand of law enforcement. The infinite heaven and earth are unfathomable. Mother In Chuang soared out, according to the sound of his decision. From the sword box behind, 2 swords, one large and one small, led the way. Then there are countless other swords. It's also soaring. Waiting for the sword is not wrong. He waved his hand towards the house, shouting loudly. He just waved his hand. There are countless swords in the air. Immediately headed towards the house. That hit down. To the east, the yin and yang eye continues to develop. Very quickly, the scene of 10 good returns appeared. When I saw him, I knelt down and asked him why. The capital nodded. It's him. You have not eaten rice for a day. You didn't say anything. I seem to have lost you. The devil sees the suffering form of 10 good. Then exclaim. Looks like this was a huge blow to him. The mayor also agreed. Very fast scene 10 good talking to the monster. Disappear immediately. Instead, it's when you use the power of the living hell particle. The devil is a little confused. What is he doing? The wind replied. Actively squeezing out the seeds of hell. Make a connection with Ben. He wants to find the underdog in Udo for help. Very fast. The 10 virtues that have gathered their aura once again open their eyes. Then slowly get up and go outside. The devil saw that and said, follow him. Very quickly came to the scene. 10 goodness take out the wooden box under the floor. I saw 2 wooden statues. It makes the devil extremely surprised. Is the martial arts God statue. Let us go to Thailand to find your master. Follow the shadow of 10 good people leaving the inn. He knelt and glanced at the capital. We're going to Tai'an too. The Lord nodded with no opinion. Move the scene to the other side. After a fierce attack of the wind station. Around and on the roof. It is now full of swords. There is still no movement inside. The wind station is a little impatient. Still refuse to sao. Put your hand in your mouth and take a bite. Then write on your hands with fresh blood. Continue the law. Transfer not to forgive the order of the swordsman. Pull out the sword. Follow the sound of his mantra. There are 2 more swords flying in the back. 2 swords in the sky. Immediately, there's a storm of clouds converging. Then the wind station opened its mouth and shouted. Wind starts to drift. From inside the cloud, there's an electric current coming down the house. Where for torpedo power strong attack, Ra Sao, the Buddha is still sitting motionless. The judge stared at him and said, Let's move. After a moment, the Buddha suddenly opened his eyes. Then slowly stand up. The Buddha stood up. The body was so huge that it directly smashed the roof. The old swordsman outside saw it. It's extremely scary. I live in such a big city. The judge is cold inside. Order the Buddha to kill them. Buddha statue without hesitation. Death in the rubble towards the swordsman. With every step it takes to the ground. Then it gets deep. The wind station turned its head. Take a look at the people behind you. Let's finish the fight. People nodding their heads immediately press the law to decide for heaven and earth. God marshal. The great battle begins according to the sound of their incantations. There were countless swords flying out. Form a great battle of yin and yang in front of the evil Buddha. The Buddha saw that. Immediately swing your fist. Let a right to go straight to the Kier battle. To move the scene to the outside of the forest edge of Tai'an district. 10 good and evil people have driven chariots here. They are now walking deep into the forest. I just went to 10 and looked at the monster. You are sure this way? Oh, hell, cut the nails. Not wrong. The gold umbrella of the master's urge fell recently. I won't be wrong. And we can also feel it. If you listen to 10 good people, you don't say much. After a while, they came out of a thick bush. Look at the hole in front of your eyes. 10 good fear uttered. What is this? Quick answer. This is probably the great school of the Lord's Supper. The owner said before. Master's fighting has become a great technique. Extremely harmful. Its power has gone beyond its scope. Martial artists are talking, and suddenly, it's amazing looking at the nearby carcass. That's the 4-fold bow of the mule. Hell, no hesitation. Quickly run down and look. He watched for a moment and was terrified. No wrong, this is a fight. You can defeat the enemy, and this is not possible. That day was already top grade. 10 in the back right now. Is also looking towards the protruding head of the Kier Taoist. He quickly looked towards the monster. Call the sick cat. I discovered your master. Then move the scene to the other side. 2 demons are riding on the back of a butterfly. Face towards Tai'an. This is a kind of demon. They suck the oxygen from the living for food. The devil sitting on the butterfly's back glanced at the capital next to him. Ask the current person. Can you pinpoint the location of the Kier boy? Style nod. Right since we left the East The lines of cause and effect have separated. And then just fly along this red causal line. Maybe a little more time to find him. The devil heard that. He then urged the devil to speed up. Move to the 10 side. After a while of digging, you've also dug up the body. The body of the prisoner was also brought up by you. It's right next door. Look at the bodies of 2 people on the ground. 10 good people ask questions. Can you tell why they died? your master and this fighter. On the body, it doesn't save any foreign trade at all. The monster immediately responded. They died of poisoning. That's even harder to understand. Death by SAO poisoning. They're not poison users. They can be poisoned too. Because the owner was forced to use the demon executioner. 10 good people ask Lao Lao, what is it? Very good, quick to tell. It was the 10th fall when Master was born. The most proud owner. It's a very powerful demon. I want to invite him in. The demon lord from the middle a level down. You have to risk your life. With the owner's current state. I still can't control it well. He could be forced to use the devil as sword to risk his life. The enemy is so strong. Make him feel desperate. 10 good listening, then moody nod. So that's what Ra is. After thinking for a moment, he looked at the monster. That's right. Next, I want to go to the demon house to find my master. If the master kills your master, haven't left yet, it's very likely to meet him there. Do you want to come with me without hesitation? Answer: want. 10 good people say, we'll die there, looking at the body in front of him. I know, but if I don't avenge him, no one can avenge him. 10 good listening is quiet. After a while you continue. Then let's put them to rest first. Then we go to the devil. After a while, the two of them went to prison. He was buried by 10 good men. Then you look at the monster. Let's go. At sunset, you went to Tai'an. You two don't hesitate. Go straight to the millions. 10 good-looking aesthetic front view scenes. The 2 stone lions are gone. What happened after we left here? The door was also destroyed. Think for a moment. 10 people quickly sat down. Open bag, wooden box, Ra. Leave, don't care anymore. He quickly took out the evil wooden statue. Lie, close your eyes and pray. Martial arts, God, quickly epiphany. Martial arts, God, quickly epiphany. Very quickly, the evil wood statue, light eyes immediately glowed from the inside. It immediately has a killer gas that radiates out and merges into the body. 10 goodness. One of your eyes turned red. Your body right now. It was controlled by the evil spirit. He looked at the plaza in front of him and said, Ra. So your first request is to find the master who is locked in this cave. It's simple. Then he glanced at the monster next to him. When you get in, be quick. I don't have time to pay attention to your cat. When I heard that, my hair screamed furiously. You're not a cat, you are a cat. Where did you take the good 10? And the evil lie smiled. Look at the academy. I am a rescuer. This boy is invited to, haha. 2 people kneeling at the same time also flew to the outer Vi Tai jungle, in front of the graves of 2 men. He ordered the butterflies to stop. The city found it difficult to understand. Why? The devil looked at the grave below, a little sad. This is where a demon lord is buried. It's even more difficult to understand his attitude. The devil quickly explained. You have the most unknown. The pulse of the devils of this place. We all create. So the human is the one who walks this path. Everyone will have a crush on me. Not only that, their anger. He will also be gracious to me. Then the evil came along. Go inside the millions. For a moment, the evil stopped. Glancing to the side. All 10 good and evil are difficult to understand. I asked why. The evil man replied. There's a dead rooster. He said he just took out the blood wheel. Then without hesitation threw the blood wheel towards the body of the leper. I saw the body cut by the devil. 10 good horror uttered. What are you doing? Evil Lie calmly replied, the earth in this world is broken. People after death. I can't go to Pluto to report it. This priest's body is intact. The power is temporary while alive. If you don't worry about it, it will be done later. Not equal to the current handle, always. Do you still want to stay? He will cause trouble to others later. When the evil is done, Lie turns around and tells the monster, let's go. There's nothing left to see. Let's go a little deeper. Then a cat. Go deep inside the garden. Move the scene to the other side. The war here is still going on. It's extremely tense. After eating a blow from the evil Buddha, yin-yang battle formed by flying sword. The old sword shows signs of breaking. A teenager in which a tense face spoke up. The great master is about to die. The wind station calmly nodded. Just calm down, he shouted. Ter-Ntin swordsman, Long Dao, according to his cry. A sword of air immediately directed the evil Buddha. The Buddha's body was cut in half. It quickly broke down in front of people. He looked at the rubble in front of him and said, this is just a giant bag of grass. There's no power at all. The evil Buddha that the king said, probably not so weak. You quickly restore your state. The next fight here, I'm afraid it will be more intense. Move the scene to the Thai side. After entering, inside, look ahead. Speak up. This is the stone lion we met outside. The devil doesn't pay much attention. Go to pick up the drum of the blind boy who fell on the ground to look. Watch for a moment the corners of his mouth rise. It's an interesting weapon. Then the drum slowly dissolved in his hand. At the same time on the Udo side, the Kier drum also slowly appeared above the chessboard. In front of the white man. Follow it appears non-stop. There's a sound coming from the Amitabha Buddha. From inside the drum, there's some liquid coming out. According to Nam Mu, Adida Buddha. And out of that liquid, lotus flowers grow. The white-faced general sat still. Watch all the changes from beginning to end. Quiet without speaking. Two people at the same time. Kneeling and feasting. They also went inside the city. Looking at the empty street 01 shadow people. The devil is angry. I can't stop yelling at this bastard. There are not many people left in this city. The city next door also speaks. Not only that, there are traces of the shell around here. Magic and magic. Someone has arranged it. As usual, France and France. Haha, the master arranged these things for the purpose of slaughter. He knelt and glanced at it. Living sacrifice Sao Feng Dao nodded. It's almost like that. Inside the millions, after looking outside for a while. The devil continues to move in. This is where Tran Hung died. Look at the roots. Bushy front evil Lie has little surprise. Oh, it's so grand. Next, they quickly went deep into the roots. It's been a while, a little bit of a surprise. Look in the distance and scream, over there, then look over there, inexplicably turning his head. That's why I'm looking back. That's where Tran Hung died. The moment I saw Tran Hung's body, control of the body of the evil Lie quickly disappeared. Right eye 10 good blood Kwong also from scattering away. After a while the evil Lie was completely pushed out. 10 good completely regained the ability to control the body. He looked at Tran Hung's body screaming. The next master rushed over. I looked at Tran Hung's body lying there. You can't believe it. He immediately knelt down. Tears don't stop coming out screaming. Why is that so clearly? You agree with me? The one who agreed with us is the one who will return. You are a liar, wake up. Look at these 10 sad things. Hell on the side. I don't know how to comfort Ra, Sao. Outside the two at the same time, the knelt and the capital also came to the door. Look at the ruins in front of you. He knelt and asked. It's in here. I'm nodding. While 10 good people cry in front of Tran Hung. The tree behind him. There is one on the tree. The little one-eyed tree came out. Watch it for a moment and immediately go back to the tree. The monster next door also found a body. Turn your head and look at the tree. 10 good people get up. There's something inappropriate about this place. 10 good to hear that. He wiped his tears and looked at her and asked, what's wrong? Staring at the opposite tree. I can't explain Ra either. That's the sound. There probably won't be one now. 10 good hearing so immediately stand up is the enemy Sao. Very fast. From behind the tree, there was a shadow slowly coming out. Very quickly a tree appeared before the eyes of 10 good and evil. He looked at them a moment later. I screamed with great excitement. This scream of it. That makes 10 good guys almost go through the whole thing. He also squinted his eyes and said, it seems to be very excited. The tree screamed for an hour. Then lower yourself down. Then immediately use the power of the body towards the 10 good Lao. 10 good people see that, and they are afraid to call out evil. Follow your call from the sky. There was a general's hand beating down. The tree just rushed in front of the 10 good people. It was photographed by the other hand. The evil lie now once again controls the body 10 good. He looked at the oppressed tree, and he couldn't understand. I've never seen a foreign animal before. The tree looked angrily. He screamed. Evil lie heard him scream. I don't know what the hell. I don't know how to speak, so I'm done. Non-human beings cannot be used for evil purposes. It has to be dealt with right away. The hell is speaking up right now. Careful reminder. There is help around it. It just finished. From the surrounding tree roots, there are countless trees growing. He turned his head and looked a little surprised. So much Sao. It seems that they have a certain capacity for reproduction. After a while, they were surrounded by countless tree people. They're extremely excited. Staring at the body of 10 goodness, screaming endlessly. The devil is with you right now. I just entered the second room. Then startled to stop. General Devil. I can hear the sound of the trees screaming. It's hard to understand. What is this sound? At the same time on the fishing side. 6 looked at Tran Hung in front of him. How it feels. Tran Hung body right now. He turned back into a normal person. He excitedly raised his hand to see the answer. I've never felt so good before. 6 calmly continue. Just normal. You now have the power of the devil. Again have the destiny of Sun, high strange beast. And learn your own legacy. In this Ha Nam Tao, there were no more people. They have the power to intimidate you. Chen Hung looked at him smiling sincerely. Thank you for not paying attention, so keep talking. No need to thank me for helping you. Because there are some things you can't do on your own. Wait a minute, you and he will go to Thailand. Bring back the branches of the world tree that fell there. If you leave the thing unattended, it will be very troublesome. At the same time on the left, out of the wreckage endlessly lotus flowers grow. Follow that, is the sound of the Amitabha Buddha. It also echoes endlessly. From within one slowly goes out. There was a weasel on his shoulder. This man is the Lord of Heaven. The devil saw the enemy go out. It's no surprise. The owner is on the radio. Next, without hesitation, he immediately launched the long sword. A stone air sword, it came out of him. The direction of the reception ceremony. The weasel on the shoulder immediately stood up. Then open your mouth and suck the Kier air sword in. Then I'm gobbling up. Long sword disciples around. It's very scary to see that. Master's sword was swallowed by it. How is this possible? The wind station saw this. The face is also a little wrinkled. The magic of that weasel's destiny. It's a little bit like the wisdom of heaven. This CA is annoying. At the same time, on the side of the king of Guizhou, the white tiger and the white tiger are back. Waiting for them to sit in court, the king asked, "Carp-eating people in Shinzu. Is it confirmed? Is it related to the Buddha?" Calmly and seriously, it has been confirmed. The carp that eats Kier. Which is the carp in the world? It's just its territory. Not as high as we predicted. Perhaps the weakest of the fallen. The king drank tea and asked, "It's good to solve it. Casualties are bad. How many people did the 6 states lose?" When I heard this, my face dropped. Casualty SAO 6 states, all army destroyed. The king was terrified to hear that. Ask again what 6 states destroy SAO. Complaining quickly nods. That's right, we're a step late. When we arrived in New York, they were. The king sighed and poured tea. Combined strength of the 6 confederations considered the 3rd in Henan. Under the situation of gathering all the main lines, the more powerful it is to slay demons at catastrophic levels. Battle like this. Dealing with the golden carp in the world. Completely redundant. Why are they all destroyed? Maybe Tan Shou has other disaster players, SAO. Strictly answer immediately. There are people of San Yin showing off the altar. It's special to leave one in Shinju. 6 groups were attacked by 2 disaster leaders. So it was destroyed. When the king heard it, he nodded. So that's how serious you are. So we're suspicious. The father of the San Yin people in Henan. They all leave a keeper. If you take control of the unclean places there. Not prepared mentally. Face too high-level disaster. I'm afraid the situation will be the same as the 6 confederations. When the king heard that, his eyes widened. Move the scene to the Thai side. Evil Lai is constantly using the prime minister to suppress the tree next to him spoke in fear. There are too many monsters to kill forever, but still not out of Evil Lai stared at the hand. It's annoying. The power of this body is limited. If you keep spending like that, we may be used in numbers by these outsiders. Crushed to death. You don't have to look for opportunities to break through. While he was contemplating, next to him appeared a demon. His eyes stared at the 10-year-old. This boy is bizarre. He's clearly good and evil. Your precious face is nothing. But I can smell a smell of unhappiness. It wasn't stolen by that AI. These one-eyed worms are 5 demons. To take the fortunes of the good and the evil. Unhappy to make food. Right then the ground under 10 benevolent feet. Then something broke through. It quickly passes by your side. And then straight at the foot of the apparatus. After a while, a monster rises from the ground. It's carrying demons. Every place it's ever been will leave a trail of mud. The mud will be immobilized in place. I saw these demons appear. Talk to 10 good people. The master is here. There will be no danger here for the time being. I will go ahead as long as it is revealed. 10 good to hear that. Agree immediately. Evil Lai then quickly recovered the prime minister. Then returned the body for 10 good. Not far away, another demon came. He's running among the trees and singing his head out loud. The rain doesn't worry. Even though I have a big head, his name is Big Head. Peaceful unhappiness in the head to have a kind of devil.